Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mayfly Disc Golf. We'll be doing some post-commentary coverage of a practice round with myself and my friend Hunter Pierce at Fossil Ridge Disc Golf in Fort Collins, Colorado. How are you doing, Randy?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
So as we're getting into the video here, we're going to be looking at hole one. It's a par 3, 419 feet. Hunter's going to tee off first here. Do pretty much pretty much just a straight shot down the fairway. Very simple. Here's myself. Here I'm throwing a Star Charger.
Got over on that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it came out of my hand wrong, and just had it turned over a little too much. And then, as you can see there, so I actually throw out of bounds. The sidewalk there is the out of bounds. That disc unfortunately just got away from me.
Is that Huntersburg?
Actually, no. That is a Castoplast yarn. It's a very overstable force speed. So there was my approach shot. I used my Discmania Logic.
He had a good bid on that.
He had an excellent bid. He had a great throw on that. Now we're taking a look at hole 2, par 3, 330 feet. This is pretty much dead straight, and then a little hook there to the left. If you can kind of see there in the top corner, there's the basket right above the fence line. So I do. Thank you. Yeah, I was actually pretty happy with that throw. I left it just a tad shorter than what I really wanted. But I've got about 65 for the basket from where my lie is. Hunter had a good maybe 80, 85.
Yeah, that was good. That was right up there. That'll be in for par.
Right. So here I'm actually not in my normal stance because it was extremely muddy in the fairway there. And unfortunately, I just couldn't find my footing.
Talk about the wind a little bit, because I noticed it seemed pretty windy.
Yeah, so when we first started our round, starting here on hole 3, we didn't have much of a wind, maybe about 5-6 miles an hour. Wasn't too bad. And then here around hole 4 and 5, the wind, we just started getting these random gusts. Started getting a pretty consistent wind. Mostly tailwinds and headwinds. No crosswinds of any kind or anything.
Oh, that was a nice pull right there.
Thanks. That was with my Star Charger. Hunter is throwing a Berg. I believe that's a K1 plastic.
Yeah, you get a good shot on that one.
This is my approach with a Nova Hydra.
Nice, parked.
Thank you.
I call that handicap parking.
Yeah, I really like that Hydra. It's a float and water disc, but it has a really grippy texture, and so it's great for approach shots because you can just drop it right in the basket and park it right next to the basket.
This is hole 4.
386 feet, pretty much dead straight from the tee pad. You can see that the Hunter had a bit of an early release and disc just kind of got away from him. Put it on too much of a hyzer too, so he's left with a good maybe 220, 230.
Wow, what are you throwing there?
So I'm actually throwing a Neo Enigma. It's a bit like a Pro Destroyer. Mine's fairly new plastic, and so it's a little bit more overstable. Yeah. Hunter had a great approach there. And then here is my birdie bid. Probably a good 65 from the pin.
That was nice.
Yeah, I had the right line. I think I just left it short for sure.
So you're over two and he's plus one.
Yeah, that first hole really got me, especially going OB and just kind of missing that line. So this is hole five. It's par three, 214 feet. I believe this is the shortest hole on this course. Here I actually tried to go for an ace run. Tried to use one of my flippier mid ranges to kind of get it and throw it into the basket. Unfortunately, unsuccessfully.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a kneel there, a little low ceiling.
Yeah, that's kind of a tricky spot. So once you get under those trees or get behind those trees, you pretty much can't throw any sort of standing putt. Those trees unfortunately just sit right in your face and kind of line up right with the basket.
So tell me about hole six.
So hole six is pretty much just pretty stock hyzer shot. You can see the baskets over there off to the left. Hunter actually had a pretty good throw, just left it pretty short. For me, I was throwing a G-Star Thunderbird, and same result. Threw it a little too high, threw it a little short. There's Hunter's bid for birdie. Although I think he really wasn't trying to bid for the birdie. I think he was more.
Yeah, it's kind of a layup. Are you going for it or laying up here?
I am going for it, and you'll see here, I completely throw it off. I would say most of my putts this day were actually pretty off to the right.
Yeah, you got good days, you got bad days. Let's get going.
Yeah. So here I'm throwing a Champion Eagle. I've had this disc in my bag for a little while, and it's a great disc. It's a good throw. Just gives me a nice, good flat, stable throw.
So I see all the snow out there. What was the temperature? Was it pretty cold or?
This is actually a warmer day for us in Fort Collins. We just had snow maybe a few days earlier, and by the time the weekend rolled around, fortunately the weather kind of popped back up to the 40s and 50s.
Oh.
And you can see there, I
came back for par.
Yeah, came back for par, ripped it right at the basket. And now we're at hole 8. This is 204 feet, so this is actually the shortest hole on the course. And it is dead straight right in between all of those trees.
Are you throwing a mid-range there?
I am. I'm throwing it's a P-Line MD2. It's a really flexible plastic, so I usually get a little bit more flip out of it, and I think I just didn't throw it hard enough, and so I left myself pretty short.
Wow, that was a nice bid. He was close.
Yeah, you can kind of see the disappointment in his face. He had a pretty good bid there.
Now, this is where the wind picked up, because I noticed it kind of...
Yeah, right here around hole 5 and 6. This is when the wind started to kind of pick up. Unfortunately, in this area here, this is actually 225 feet. It's a stock forehand. I like to throw a big hyzer shot because exactly for that
around
reason.
Those trees. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, if you try and just throw straight towards the basket, it's there to the right. It will get away with you pretty quickly. You'll hit those trees, or you're going to be well far from the basket.
Yeah, now he's got a pretty good upshot. He's got a good.
Yeah, luckily he's got a lot of control with that berg, and so he's able to get himself in position pretty well.
Well, here you go from about what, 30, 40?
That's actually a little bit more. I'd say about 40, 45. Again, just ripped it to the right and left myself with probably another 15.
Oh.
As you can see, I'm wiping all the ice and snow off the disc and off my hand.
Just a little bit of chain left there.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to overcorrect, and that was a mistake on my end. Should have just.
Hole 10, par 4.
Yeah, this is a longer hole on the course. Just shy of 500 feet.
So is the play and Big Annie on the left side of those trees, or can you go right?
So the basket is actually just straight ahead. It's straight 500 feet from this area, but the way that you tee off those trees, they're off to the left, kind of block you from throwing a standard, just kind of straight shot towards the basket. Most of the time, or at least in the past when I've played this course, I've had to throw either a backhand with kind of a more understable disc and throw kind of a flip up. But I would say most players, like we did, we just threw kind of a forehand just to kind of get it away from those trees off to the left. Hunter actually overthrew a shot and ended up in the street, and so he rolled out of bounds, and then that was him throwing from his out of bounds position.
Thumbs up. He's ready for this one. And he missed it.
Yeah, not a great bid. You can see the frustration. And for me, this was just a drop in. Par.
So Andrew's at +3 and Hunter's at +1.
We're looking at hole 11, 322 feet.
Is that going to come back? Yep.
So we were in a pretty stiff headwind by the time we hit this hole. And you'll see, so I actually threw an Excalibur just to kind of control some of that headwind. And you'll see Hunter threw an overstable disc, but definitely put a little too much hyzer on it and ended up throwing way far to the left.
You could see that flag there in the background whipping.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad headwind. Around this time is when the course got really difficult. We were fighting a lot with the wind. Our shots just weren't lining up as well. You can see there that, I threw that Logic pretty soft, and it's still, it was still
sneaky,
pretty floaty. Yeah.
He's got a low ceiling here he's got to deal with.
Yeah. Luckily on that side, well, he missed it, unfortunately. But off that side, you can actually get a bit of a standing putt, but it's still a pretty low ceiling that you're having to fight with. But luckily his comeback putt was strong.
Neil, nice. All right, there's your scores.
So this is my best drive, possibly my best drive ever. So you can't see it very clear. Yeah. So I threw a Star Shrike, and I just got a great flight, great line out of it. We're in a bit of a tailwind, and so the tailwind helped push that disc a little bit further towards that basket. But I just got the perfect amount of turn out of that disc, and I am sitting at, I think, if I remember correctly, I was 62, 63 from the basket.
Nice. Wow, that was a nice bid up shot.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's really good with that Berg. He's awesome with his approach shots with the Berg. He just has a good feel of that disc, and
yeah,
so that was my
up shot.
Thank you.
Little crooked basket there, but y'all did well on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hole 13, par 4, huh?
Yeah, this one's a big one. So now we're back in a headwind. As you can tell on my Star Charger, it just flipped over too much on me and ended up rolling middle of the fairway. I'm maybe only 150 from the tee. Did not get it very far.
That's going to be a tough par out on this one from there.
So here I'm going with another driver. I'm going with my Enigma. Wanted to do something a little bit more stable, but something that I could still get some flip on.
Got beautiful mountains in the background.
Yeah, that's going to be Horsetooth Mountain there in Fort Collins. That's probably the mountain range and the area that most locals like to go to for hiking and for.
So what course do you want to play
kayaking and
next
whatnot.
over there?
There's a couple of good ones out here. I think most notably the Budweiser course here in Fort Collins. That's definitely the most popular. They host a lot of A-tier tournaments.
Run into Eagle there, huh?
There's always possibility he actually plays that course fairly often. I'd like to go back to that course and play it again. I actually usually do a pretty good round there. And it's just a great course. It's well maintained. The people, the owners of that course just take such good care.
Yeah, things can go south quick in the wind.
Yeah, they really can. The wind really got to us because we started off the day with a very, very low wind, and unfortunately that wind caught up to us and threw us off our game.
The thing I love about this course the most is, one, you throw across the street, and two, you throw from the street.
Yeah. Yeah, so the fun thing about this course, the way that we're playing this, is the Fossil Ridge is actually a 9-hole course. And they, on UDisc, they give you the option to do what's called a there and back again. And you play the first 9 holes, and then you play 6 more holes in different positions, playing to all the same pins that you've already played to. So it's fun because you get to play a few extra holes. You're throwing to the same baskets, but you're just throwing from different positions, a lot longer distances.
Yeah, I saw kind of a fly view from that course, and it's like you're just constantly crossing over each other.
Yeah.
It'd be difficult for like a bunch of people when they're playing that course.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's not a very popular course. We actually don't see a lot of people out there. It's where I like to practice most. So, and on this hole specifically, I actually had a pretty decent drive. I got lined up next to the basket, but I was about 80 feet left, or 80 feet right. I'm sorry. And through my approach and just completely lost grip on my putting, and unfortunately got a double there.
Yeah, one of the comments that I saw on UDisc was that it was muddy there, and I'm seeing evidence of that.
Yeah, it's really muddy. If right after a snow, it's pretty muddy. You can see me there. I'm actually just complaining about the wind. We're in a dead headwind again. The wind's picked up even more. So here I am throwing my Star Charger again, and there's that wind pushing back on it.
Yeah. Do you think the Adidas Terex shoes make a big difference?
The Terex actually for me are a little bit heavy. I'm still trying to get used to them. They feel great on the tee pads. I mean, they feel like you've got a lot of grip and a lot of control. But
I love mine. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just a little bit heavier, I think, than what I'm used to, but they're great shoes.
Okay, how far is this upshot?
So this is, I want to say maybe another 350 from the basket. Hunter had a pretty decent, it was kind of rough off the tee, and then he had a really nice approach shot. So you can see here, I switched to the forehand because throwing over the OB is actually a little bit cleaner. It's a little bit easier than trying to get around those trees.
Those guardian trees, yeah.
Yeah. Hunter again throws a great upshot there. And here is my bid for par.
So y'all ended at +6 and +4. Not a bad
Yeah.
round when you're considering all the wind. Hey, don't forget to
Yeah.
subscribe, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed the rounds. We'll be posting some more post commentary and live commentary videos. So please check us out, subscribe, hit the notification, and we'll see you in the next round.
Peace out. Have a good day.